sometimes have a hard time keeping up with, and they will try, but when it comes down super fast and furiously, it just snows over. And again, the snow is going to continue into Thursday. And then the valleys, we will get rain. The snow level about 2,500 feet, maybe down to 2,000 feet. But over a 2-day period, an inch, inch and a half. So that'll cause some flooding of low-lying intersections, low spots on roads, a lot of spray in the freeways, but no flooding. Not even the smaller rivers should be flooding with this type of a pattern. Here's the cool pattern for us through Wednesday. Then suddenly on Friday, we dry it out. There's a weak system that floats on through on Sunday, but probably doesn't even produce any precipitation. And then next week, we go right back to dry weather. In fact, this could be some fairly warm, dry weather for this time of the year. So the middle part of January, it looks like we're going to go on a dry January binge for a bit here as we get into the weekend. Right now, it is 43 degrees in Portland, freezing level at 3,800 feet. On the coast, it will be a rainy and windy day, gusts to 45 miles an hour later in the day as that first front comes on shore. In the valleys, morning fog and then rainy and windy with gusts of about 30 or 35. Cascades, we've been talking about it, at least 4 to 8 inches, maybe upwards of a foot by the end of the day tomorrow. In central and eastern Oregon, it'll take a little bit longer, but you'll get rain and mountain snow and wind, gusts of 30 miles an hour. In the gorge, it's going to be windy and rainy, gusts of 45. The wind's out of the west. This is not an east wind. And in Portland, areas of fog overnight, then the rain develops. We'll get up to about 46 the next couple days. Weather impact alert for Tuesday and Wednesday. Showers on Thursday, and then by Friday it dries out. We'll have fog in the morning and then sunshine. And other than a few clouds on Sunday, the extended period is filled with a lot of dry weather.
But boy, do we need the snow. That's really good news.
It is really great news for sure.
Oh, so awesome. Thank you, Matt.
Sure.
Well, she is a world champion with an alternative edge. Alysa Liu on self-expression and style as our countdown to the Winter Games continues.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
All right, here we go. The Oregon Ducks headed to Atlanta tomorrow ahead of the Peach Bowl on Friday.
Yeah, Oregon clinched a spot in the Final Four after seriously dominating Texas Tech. And while the Ducks defense shut out the Red Raiders, the task really becomes more difficult against Indiana. The Hoosiers have a quarterback who is a Heisman winner, and they beat the Ducks earlier this year. But the Ducks have not lost since. Today, linebacker Bryce Betcher told us that game was a turning point for the team.
Yeah, I'm a believer everything happens for a reason. I think we needed that to kind of wake us up. Obviously, we came off a big Penn State win and kind of thought we were, pretty cool going into that week and pretty confident and got a little lackadaisical with our prep, I think. So it was a good wake-up call. And, I think the rest of the season leading up to this point is a pretty good testament to the way we responded to that loss.
Yeah, now they're all woken up. The Ducks get a chance to show just how much they've changed with their trip to the national championship on the line. The Peach Bowl is Friday at 4:30 p.m. on ESPN, and our very own Orlando Sanchez is headed to Atlanta as well, of course. We'll have live team coverage here, or live coverage rather, here on KGW starting this Wednesday.
All right, we are a day and a month out from the Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina, Italy, which means it is time to highlight some of the athletes.
Right, and with an eye for fashion and an edge on the ice, figure skating favorite Alysa Liu is ready for her second Olympic stand.
Alysa Liu, you are the world champ.
Oh, my styling. I pierced it a little over 2 years ago now. Also, I did it myself. I had my sister hold up my lip, and I was looking in the mirror, and I had my piercing needle, and then I just put it through. Hi, I'm Alysa Liu. I'm a figure skater, and I'm from Oakland, California. You know, someone called my style alternative, and I'd agree with that. You know how trees have rings for their age? I thought every year I'm gonna add a new halo around my hair. So it's been 2 years, so I have 2. Pretty soon, I'll have a new stripe.
Are you into fashion?
Yeah, I love fashion a lot.
You know, Milan's the fashion capital of the world, so we thought we'd play a little game. This game is called Bold or Cold. So you're gonna tell me if the outfit is bold or it's cold.
Okay. Oh, bold. Christian Gucci? Yes, y'all know me. Ooh, wait, what? I like this. I don't know what he's wearing though, but I really like her outfit. Bold for her, cold for him. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Oh, bold. Come on, this is so cute. I would wear this, right now. I'm gonna go with bold.
That was bold or cold?
Hey, yes!
A little behind the scenes there. Opening ceremony Friday, February 6th, right?
That's right. Yeah. Okay, Blair with us now talking about what she's working on at 6:30. What you got?
So changes are coming to Multnomah County's deflection program. That's the option of treatment over jail for those caught with hard drugs. So starting today, Multnomah County District Attorney Nathan Vasquez's office will start pursuing charges against people who don't meaningfully engage with the deflection program. Now, some county commissioners say that's unfair.
What the DA is implementing, I don't think the county can currently deliver on.
The DA joins me live in just a few minutes to explain what that will look like. That's all coming up right after the break. Hey, good evening, and thanks for joining us at 6:30. I'm Blair Best. We have a lot to get to tonight, so let's dive in. First, local winemakers are facing a perfect storm. Declining interest in wine, months of tariff trouble, and Canada's devastating import ban. Tonight, how the trade war is hitting local craft wineries that depend on every bottle sold. Plus, how one Oregon man turned a childhood fantasy into the highest concentration of tree houses in the world. But first, we're talking Multnomah County's drug deflection program. District Attorney Nathan Vasquez joins me live in just a few minutes to talk about how he is planning to increase accountability within the program, one that is slow to show results. And it's our big story tonight. Changes are coming to Multnomah County's deflection program. That's the option of treatment over jail for those caught with hard drugs.
At least you have an opportunity to get treatment.
This man showed us the fentanyl he was about to use in Old Town Monday morning, just feet from the city-run outdoor day center.
I'm gonna do a fat shot of fentanyl.
On January 5th, Multnomah County District Attorney Nathan Vasquez's office began pursuing charges against people who don't meaningfully engage with the deflection program.
I mean, I don't like that, but I mean, I understand why, because I'm sure a lot of people are just taking advantage of the program.
In the first 3 months of the program last year, data shows 5 people chose treatment. 1 went to detox. In the first year, Multnomah County spent more than $8 million on the program. Law enforcement referred 520 people, fewer than 2 per day, and just over 100 completed deflection, which means they followed through on a referral. The DA wants to hold those who didn't follow through accountable.
What the DA is implementing, I don't think the county can currently deliver on.
County Commissioner Megan Moyer believes charging those who don't complete deflection is unfair.
Because right now, we don't have a functional treatment system. And I got to be very honest with people. There are services that we cannot offer either in real time or in remotely reasonable time. And that's problematic.
There is enough beds and programs and resources out there. It's just a matter of getting them all working together.
Lance Orton runs City Team, a residential recovery program. He showed us the beds sitting empty in his Old Town location.
I know just from the 3 that are within a few square block radius of here, Blanchet House, Union Gospel Mission, and us, we all have beds open. And so they're there. It's just a matter of people being aware. And I think that you talking to county commissioners and them saying that it's not there really shows what the problem is.
Lance supports charging those who fail to complete the deflection program.
A little bit of accountability for people that are going through the deflection process is, in my opinion, a good thing.
Joining me now live is Multnomah County District Attorney Nathan Vasquez. Mr. Vasquez, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Okay, so first, what led to you wanting to prosecute people who don't complete deflection?
Well, when we start from the beginning, the Oregon State Legislature recriminalized drugs, and they provided a lot of off-ramps, and that was deflection. And certainly I want to see that program work. And my whole philosophy has been compassionate accountability. But right now, when we've looked back, we've had a year, and we just haven't seen any results. The accountability piece is missing, and it's just about taking the program that we have, building it up, adding in accountability in a way that hopefully really supports people getting into treatment and engaging with treatment.
So what will that process look like exactly?
Yeah. So, a lot of it's not going to change. An officer will make an arrest, they'll take a person to the deflection center, they'll drop them off. At that point, that person has a lot of resources that are going to be available. They can go and get assessments done at the deflection center, and then from there get some referrals out to various treatment options. What is changing is that they can't simply touch the door and walk away. That has to end. The other part is that once those assessments are done and they've got those referrals, all I'm asking is that they actually take some meaningful steps to engage in some treatment.
How will you know if they don't?
Well, after 90 days, we'll certainly go to the health department and we'll ask them. We'll say, has this person engaged in any meaningful treatment? We'll get a report back from them and we can make an assessment from there. As we start out, of course, we're going to be flexible and try to work with people and do all we can to really help people who are maybe struggling to get through treatment as much as they can.
So in a memo from your office, officers are instructed to submit all investigative reports when someone is taken to deflection, and prosecutors may file charges if that person fails to engage. What does meaningful engagement here actually mean?
Well, we left that broad because we certainly wanted input from treatment providers, from county commissioners and others. But for me, what it really comes down to is the person actually taking some steps. Did they go to some meetings? Did they enroll in a detox center? There are lots of options. And I'm someone that believes there's a lot of different pathways to sobriety and to getting healthy. And so I'm not trying to be overly prescriptive and say it has to be this one way or the other. It's about allowing for many pathways to treatment.
You've also said you plan to expand the number of drug possession cases that are eligible for deflection to include things like disorderly conduct or criminal trespassing. What outcomes are you hoping to see from that?
Well, I want to see individuals actually start to benefit from a program and see that the deflection is actually working in the way that I think the community really expects. So in a way where people are now being connected to treatment. If that's occurring, then yeah, I want to see it expand. I want to bring in as many people as possible to a program that's working. I think what we've seen though is that last year we just didn't get the results that we were hoping for as far as people actually engaging in treatment.
So some county commissioners, as we just heard from, argue that this approach is unfair because they say there are just simply not enough treatment resources currently available in Multnomah County. So how do you respond to that concern?
Multnomah County is really one of the best resourced counties in the state of Oregon. We received a lot of money from the state for deflection. I believe it was well over $6 million. We have a massive health department. This county has lots of nonprofits. There's just a ton of different pathways to treatment. What I would say is that in the end, it is really up to that individual to say, hey, I'm ready to make some changes in my life, and we're looking for all different ways in which they might be making those changes.
But I think it goes a little beyond that because we are hearing two very different sides of the story. We have county commissioners telling us that resources are being stretched thin, and then we go across the river into Old Town and we see empty recovery beds just sitting there waiting for people to use them. So how would you propose bridging the gap between service providers, county leaders, and then those running the deflection center?
Well, certainly I think a big piece of this is the deflection center and making sure that they are drawing upon the network of available options. But at the end of the day, it comes down to that individual. And the individual, it's not up to the county to actually be responsible for this. I think it's wonderful that the county is trying to engage in it and doing that work, and I want them to. But at the end of the day, that individual that's arrested for a crime of possession, it's their responsibility. I think we should help them, but in the end it is a bit of a push-pull, and they need to be willing to engage in treatment.
But what about the people who are willing to engage but just aren't being connected to those empty beds because of holes in our system here?
Well, I think as we saw with some of the treatment providers, those options are out there. They are available. And they are being given currently lots of different referrals, a whole different range. And all I'm looking for is people that are making efforts, trying. That's what we're looking for.
Okay. I want to get your take on something that I witnessed today in Old Town. So we were downtown right outside the new city-run day center, and we witnessed a man who was pretty angry because his camp had just gotten cleared, and he showed us fentanyl that he was just about to use because he was so upset. He used the fentanyl in front of us and also in front of county outreach workers that were inside the day center. I asked the county outreach workers, hey, can you help this man who's clearly in crisis? They said no, because he wasn't inside the day center. So what does that moment say to you about how the system is or isn't working?
Well, certainly I'm not responsible for all the different county day centers, and I would love to see better coordination and see opportunities for people and for interventions where people are in crisis. It is one where there's always going to be opportunities to improve and to see changes within our system.
What needs to change, though, specifically on the ground to address open drug use that is happening in broad daylight, all hours of the day?
Oh, when we talk about on the ground open air drug use, I believe officers should be going out and holding people accountable. I've had a great response. I sat down and chatted with officers today. They're very open to this change, and they want to see this as well. So when we talk about that on the ground, it is just a matter of, do we have the officers and the resources available to go and intervene in that situation?
Okay, Mr. Vasquez, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, now we want to hear from you. What do you think of the DA's plan for the deflection program? Did anything he say stand out to you? Let us know. Email the story at kgw.com or call and leave us a voicemail, 503-226-5090. We're back right after this.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back. Hundreds of couples lined up this morning, some even overnight, to secure their perfect and affordable wedding venue. Joe Ranieri has the story.
There's a reason why there's a line that wraps around the Portland building every early January.
We're looking at Stevens Pavilion in Hoyt. June 28th is our goal.
To snag the location that will be these couples' dream wedding venue at one of over 200 Portland parks.
Sometime in September, hopefully.
Okay. We're very flexible. It can be a weekday, it can be the weekend, so I guess that's the advantage. If you have like a really hard date.
That's true, yeah.
On Monday morning, Portland Parks and Rec opened up this year's applications.
Portland parks are beautiful, and then they're just highly impacted for like how many people want them. So for being able to get the location and the date we want, kind of need to commit the time to it.
Some couples camped out since noon on Sunday to make sure they were first in line. It's a first come, first serve. For Jasmine Adamson, it meant flying halfway across the country to make sure she could get the park she's been dreaming of.
Yeah, we moved to Austin. Yeah.
Flew all the way here just to stand
in this line
just
right
to
here.
stand right here.
With hundreds waiting in line, bundled up to face the cold winter morning, couples knew to come prepared.
Layers.
Yeah, a bunch of layers, chairs, table, some games, food, bunch of coffee.
And to pass the time,
we're playing a game called Flip 7. It's kind of like a more complex 21. You just don't want to bust by getting the same number twice.
With hopes of saying I do at one of their dream locations in the Rose City. Joe Ranieri, KGW News.
Well, if you're planning a wedding this year, the wine industry could use your business. After a tough 2025 with tariffs and lagging sales, Northwest winemakers are hopeful for a boost in the new year. Libby Dowsett explains.
Looking at 1.2 acres of Chardonnay, 1 acre of Sauvignon.
Jared Hottie from Grape Ink Winery in North Plains moved from Europe to plant grapes in Oregon's Tualatin Hills.
There's our Mondeuse, which is from the Savoie region, Pinot Noir, and Trousseau. Although there's not a leaves and fruit, this is my favorite time of the year as it gives me a chance to see what happened last year.
It's a question many local winemakers are asking. What did happen last year? A waning interest in both wine and spirits. Months of tariff trouble with Canada and Europe. Hottie first heard about Canada's devastating wine import ban as he was loading a pallet of wine headed north.
And I'm very happy they didn't take the wines because they would have been stuck with them and unable to sell.
The export market accounts for 25 to 30% of grape ink's production. According to the Wine Institute, Canada may have softened retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods this fall, but most individual provinces have yet to drop their bans on U.S. wine and spirits. Larger wineries also feeling the crush, but they know wineries like Grape Ink, which produces just 500 cases of wine a year, depend on every bottle sold.
What drives the Oregon wine industry is that smaller 5,000 case winery. And so there's real people crafting real wine here in the state.
Real people with real wine, but fewer people to buy it.
That's the hardest part is Mother Nature presented us with some wonderful vintages. So we have all these wonderful wines and we're looking forward to celebrating them and sharing them abroad.
Hoping for that chance again in 2026. Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
Well, let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Matt Safino with a look at our forecast. And Matt, you have some good news for skiers and snowboarders.
It's about time, right?
Finally.
Yeah, and good news for our snowpack in general, too, which has been really behind the 8 ball all season long so far. We're going to make up some serious ground over the next 3 days. Now, in the meantime, we have to concern ourselves with fog in the valleys. Here's downtown Portland right now. We're 43 degrees. Humidity is at 82%. So it's going up, but down in Salem, fog has already formed. Not this part of Salem. Capital still looks good, but in the background, you can see some fog. 100% humidity, and when we look at the visibility, it's down to a quarter mile in Salem. Now it's down to a quarter mile in McMinnville, and that fog patch is going to spread and develop over the next few hours, but it's going to get blown out and washed away quickly tomorrow morning, so it probably won't be an issue for the morning commute. We hit 50 in Vancouver and Portland today. 45 down in McMinnville, a bit cooler down the valley, 46 in Hood River. Over in eastern Oregon, 30s and 40s for highs, and it looks like Gold Beach, the hot spot in the state with that 54. Okay, here's the clear sky. It is already getting overrun by high clouds, and this is going to help to limit that fog formation, how thick it gets and how long it lasts. This is also going to be the first of 2 systems that bring us valley rain and heavy mountain snow. And for a change, it's coming from the west and northwest, not from the southwest, so it'll be a cold system followed quickly by a second one that comes in on Wednesday for more valley rain and more mountain snow. You can see by midday tomorrow, already snowing in the Oregon Cascades up on Mount Hood. Then it really sets in Tuesday night and into Wednesday, and then Wednesday night and into Thursday. All the while, some pretty gusty winds coming our way too, and decent valley rainfall. Not enough for flooding. We're not going to go back to what we had in December with that kind of rainfall, but we will see some decent rainfall, so the roads will be wet. A lot of spray on the highways, that type of thing. Then after showers on Thursday, it dries out and we go to a long stretch of dry weather, it looks like, for dry January, the weather kind. Okay, here's the snowfall forecast. You can see 30 to even 40 inches possible in the Cascades Tuesday, Wednesday, and into Thursday night. Then it begins to shut down. So we have a weather impact alert for the Cascades for Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll see about Thursday, but the passes will be treacherous and the snow continues into Thursday. And again, this is by far our heaviest snowfall of the season so far. Let's talk about these winds too. Nothing tonight, we're good. That's why the fog is forming. But look, by tomorrow, this is by 5 o'clock, gusts in the valley up around 30 miles an hour. There's a 36-mile-an-hour gust down at Newport, so it is going to get rather blustery. And hour by hour, the winds really begin to pick up after about 11 a.m. Gusts over 25 miles an hour in Portland, peaking at around 31 or 32 miles an hour in the early afternoon. So get ready for a windy and rainy day in the valleys. And by the time we go into late Wednesday, we may look at an inch and a half in the valleys. But again, I don't think it's enough to produce any river flooding. We've had plenty of that so far this winter. Don't need more. So it's a cold pattern tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. Then just like that, it dries out on Friday. And other than a weak system right here that'll just produce clouds and no rain on Sunday, dries out again next week. In fact, most of next week at this point anyway, looks dry. So it's good that we're finally getting some decent mountain snowfall with dry weather in the offing after that. 43 right now, freezing level, 3,800 feet. If you're going to be at the beach tomorrow, it's going to be good storm watching. Rainy, windy, gusts of 45 miles an hour, all good things like that. Look out for the waves, of course. In the valleys, morning fog and then rainy and windy. Gusts of 35 later in the day, as we just showed you. So again, it's going to turn around and get very blustery. Up in the Cascades, the snow increases 4 to 8 inches during the day. By midnight tomorrow night, maybe upwards of a foot new, even by then, up on Mount Hood. Mostly cloudy, and the rain and the wind will arrive late in the day, central and eastern Oregon, but you still get it. Gusts of about 30 miles an hour out of the south. And in the gorge, it is a west wind, gusting to 45 miles an hour. It's going to be blustery out in the gorge, but it's all rain. Morning lows around freezing, but it'll be dry when it's that cold. The precipitation won't start till it's well above freezing, so we don't have to worry about freezing rain or snow in the gorge. Areas of fog overnight, and then the rain develops. High of 46 the next 2 days. There will be rainy days here in the valley, Blair. Sun and showers on Thursday. Friday it dries out. Fog in the morning, then mostly sunny on Saturday. And Sunday, partly sunny, back to sunshine again on Monday. So it's really an amazing turnaround after a very stormy few days for the middle part of this week.
Yes, I'm loving the weekend forecast.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, thanks so much, Matt.
Sure.
Well, still to come, looking for some new travel inspo? We'll take you to the Oregon resort where everyone's head is in the trees.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Well, if you had a treehouse as a kid and longed to relive those days, a Southern Oregon resort may be just the spot for you. John Bartell takes us there in this backroads adventure.
But didn't you ever dream of having a house up on a treetop?
Living in a treehouse doesn't have to be a dream like it was in Disney's Swiss Family Robinson. That treehouse dream can be a reality at Out and About Treehouse Treesort in Cave Junction, Oregon.
I boast this as being the highest concentrations of tree houses in the world.
Meet Michael Garnier.
I'm the main entrepreneur here.
Not only does Michael have some tremendous tree puns, he's also figured out a way how to make money grow on trees when he started his unique bed and breakfast back in the 1990s.
People ask me where I came up with the idea for this, and I say I tried a lot of things and this one worked.
Michael's a bit of a know-it-all, part engineer, part carpenter, and even dabbles in a little interior design.
This is the forestry.
There's 16 high-flying tree houses, each with their own unique design, look, and feel.
Yeah, we're about 35 feet up in the trees here. And one of the things with this is when the wind blows, this bough moves, you know.
So these aren't your typical tree houses. They have all the amenities you'd expect in a normal house, including plumbing. There's not a whole lot of privacy in here.
No, but this, I mean, you usually only use it late at night, so you have to go down and hopefully everybody else is sleeping. So.
A series of cable bridges will take you from one tree house to the next, offering a unique view of the forest and many classic treehouse features.
Is this the mail service here?
Well, yeah, this is laundry. This is your valet.
Michael is kind of the pioneer in the tree-sort business, which has really branched out over the years. He actually teaches people all over the world to build tree houses, but when Michael first started planting his roots in southern Oregon, his tree-sort was not a welcome idea by the Josephine County Permit and Building Department.
Well, when I started, they did not say you're off to go. It took, they said you can't do it.
Michael faced nearly a decade of regulatory resistance from Josephine County over the strength and safety issues. That is until he famously piled over 10,000 pounds of friends and family onto one of his tree houses to prove its structural integrity, which caught the attention of several newspapers and media outlets.
I would have never gotten permission, but I used publicity and humor.
Michael says one of the key factors in winning over the county inspectors is his invention called the Garnier limb, which supports the treehouse structure without actually hurting the tree.
So this Garnier limb will hold over twice as much as just a regular bolt.
Thanks to the Garnier limb and Michael's never-ending drive to innovate, he expanded the tree-sort activities to include ziplining, rope swings,
holy crap!
Oh, wow.
and this strange spinning contraption used to amaze guests.
Dr. Birch's Yankee Doodle picture propeller. It's an organic psychedelic kaleidoscope.
That's really cool.
Unfortunately, you're gonna have to experience this thing in person. There's really no way to catch it on camera.
Oh yeah. How does this even work?
It's magic. What do you mean?
Well, if you ask me, the whole tree-sort is magic. It's a place where guests can really live out the Swiss Family Robinson dream, and Mike can live out his own treehouse building dreams.
I mean, you can't ask for more if you get paid for something that you do that you like and the people like.
From Out and About Treehouse Resort, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the background!
Well, that is the end of our show, folks. Thanks so much for watching. And don't forget, everyone has a story to tell. In the meantime, have a great night, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow night at 6:30.